Good morning. Today we're going to talk about how to graph linear equations that are in point-slope form. Point-slope form looks different than the other two. We have some parentheses in there. We have several numbers that we wouldn't have had before. And so there are a couple tricks I'm going to teach you to do this. Slope is the easy one to find. It's always on the side with the x in front of the parentheses. Remember, if there's nothing there, it's 1. So my slope is m, and you're good there. And then we are going to identify a point where we start. So in slope-intercept form, we actually use b. In point-slope form, we're going to use these numbers here. Okay. The key is when you're making your point, you're going to take this and you're going to change your signs, and you're going to have the point x1 and y1. Okay. It's easier to see when we do this with numbers, so let's go ahead and do a problem. Okay, so here's our equation, y plus 2 equals 1/2 times x plus 6. In this, my slope is always in front of my parentheses. Remember, we want our slope to be a fraction, so I have 1/2 there. And then we need to find a point. Okay, my x value in my point always comes with the x. My y value in the point always comes with my y. However, I have to change my signs before I can use those. So if I have an x plus 6, that means the point has a negative 6 in it. And y plus 2 means I have the point negative, or the y value of negative 2 in the point. Okay, so once I've identified those, graphing is very similar to slope-intercept form. We're going to graph the point negative 6, negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 2. And then we're going to use our slope to go up 1, right 2. Okay, so up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. And I can keep going until I run out of room. Remember, when you draw your graph, to make sure it goes all the way across your graph and that it has arrows at the end of the line. And that's it. Okay, so again, very similar to graphing in slope-intercept form. The only difference is you're not using your intercept. You're just using a different point that's in the equation. Okay. Most common mistake that students make with this one is that they forget to change the signs for their point, for their x's and y's when they find them. Okay. So there's our line. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Okay, y minus 3 equals 2 times x plus 1. Again, our slope is always in front of the parentheses. So that 2 right there is what we're looking at. And I also want my slope to be a fraction. So remember, if it's not a fraction, I'm going to put a 1 on the bottom to make it a fraction. Okay, then I need to find my starting point, which in this problem is not going to be my slope-intercept, or my intercept. It's going to be from these two numbers there. Do not forget to change your signs. So if I have x plus 1, that means I'm using negative 1. And y minus 3 means I'm using a positive 3. So I'm going to start at the point negative 1, 3. Negative 1, 1, 2, 3. And then we use the slope to go up 2, right 1. So up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. We're also going to go down 2, back 1. And draw a nice line there. Again, try to make sure your line goes all the way across the graph if you can. I'm going to extend this one a little bit. And make sure you have arrows at the ends. So I'm going to put those arrows in there. Just draw blue. That didn't do anything that it was supposed to. Okay, so I'm going to draw my arrows at the end, and then I'm good. Okay, so draw my line, draw my arrows, and I am done. Okay, let's look at the next one. Y plus 4 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 4. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my numbers here. Okay, so slope is always in front of the parentheses. So this time I have a negative 2/3. So remember, when I have a negative, I usually put it with the top. So that's telling me to go down 2, right 3. And then I highlighted my numbers that are with my x and y. So if I have x minus 4, I use a positive 4. And if I have y plus 4, I'm going to use a negative 4. So I'm going to go right 4 and down 4. And then from there, my slope said down 2, right 3. So I'm going to go down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3. I could also switch that and go up and backwards if I want. But then I can draw my line. We're good there. Put some arrows on the ends. And that is how you're going to graph that line. Go ahead and try those practice problems and let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to hit pause and raise your hand if you need help. Have a great day.